Bring to order, call to order the Central Oregon Coast Fire and Rescue Board of Directors meeting for Thursday, September 18th, 2025 at 4 p.m. Regular session announcement that the meeting is being streamed live on the Central Coast YouTube channel, and if anyone has public comments or questions, they can comment on the live stream, and the questions will be relayed to the board members and answered at the end of the meeting. Pledge of Allegiance.
Sit down just a minute.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
I'm sorry, did you say Judy? Here?
Yes.
I'm here.
Rick Booth.
Here.
John McCullough.
Here.
Gina Eckerly.
Here.
Greg Dunn.
Here.
Lawrence Brennan.
Thank you. Minutes, regular session minutes and special meeting minutes, budget workshop, et cetera. If any, I guess, did we have
I think we just had regular minutes.
regular minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, so everybody get a chance to look at the regular minutes.
I move we approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Minutes have been approved unanimously. Okay, 3121. Sign. Yay. Citizen participation?
Nothing yet.
All right. Reports.
I don't really have a whole lot to report maintenance-wise. All the stuff is here for the doors, so but I'm not gonna be doing those until sometime in October. I haven't figured out the date yet. We've got some pressing, they're not service or anything issues, just some other things that need to be done first, so I can get them done, so. And then that way I can just focus on those and get those done. Was able to get all the lights. I'm gonna change all the lighting in the bays too, to a nice white light. And they won't be hanging down anymore. They'll be clear up on the ceiling. So I was able to keep all that within the bay project, if you will, so.
Okay.
Other than that,
You weren't around the day, I was down here one day last week or whatever, and we were all hanging out in front of the bay door out there for Bay 3. And I talked to Chief about possibly when you're doing the doors, is potentially coming up with a way to bring centering that one post, because the rails are offset by 2 inches.
right.
So it's like the doors are like this. That's exaggerated, but, so to bring it back is to see, and he thought maybe it could be winched up and having that post pulled out so that those doors are gonna be lined up, and it's also gonna close that gap.
Yeah. Oh, not the one I took out, not the other one?
No, the other one.
Yeah.
I mean, if it can be done safely, and it can be done with a level of confidence that it kind of fixes the issue of when the doors are all down, everything's gonna be sealed, and our little four-legged friends aren't gonna be wanting to come through there or whatever, that would be great.
Well, and I'm gonna be replacing a lot of that trim work too, so all of that will be, I'm gonna kind of fix the bottom so that,
Yeah, plus I heard the doors are gonna have, rail pullers instead of,
yeah, they go on the jack, it'll be wall mounted, and they go on the jack shaft, connects to that with it. Because they're so close, it's got a chain that drives,
yeah,
will drive it, one-to-one, but that way there won't be anything other than tracks obstructing.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they'll, honestly, the crews, when they do their rig checks, when it's raining, they won't have to pull it outside to check fluids, they'll be able to.
yeah, that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, right
That's
in
gonna
the
be
bay,
really
so.
nice. Okay.
As long as we move the trucks about 3 feet further back.
Oh, yeah, hit the door, yeah. And I did order a whole extra door so that because now we have 6 of these doors, now we have extra panels, so, and like PWA's panel, I already gotta replace the one, it's just not their fault, just the way that it happened, but anyhow, now we'll have extra panels, one door, window panel, so, now we just, in case something happens, we have extras, so we don't have to fix it.
Right on.
Where do you store those?
I'm building, so up at Tidewater, I've got the top of the Conex. I'm gonna
Ah.
put that, and I put some shelvings inside the Conex so that I can store stuff in there. So, and then upstairs at Tidewater, I've got some, organized all that. So the panels of the doors, I'm gonna build a little cover over the top of it, if you will. A lot of the plumbing, the extra doors, that kind of stuff will go on top of the Conex, so.
Okay, okay.
Thank you. Volunteers.
I don't really have anything other than I will be gone the 30th through October 3rd to my OFSOA conference. I secured a full scholarship to go.
Cool.
So,
Good.
yeah, that was nice. It's in Ashland this year, so I'm looking forward to it. A lot of good subjects on our agenda this year, so I'll come back with lots of knowledge again. So I'm on the board now too, so it's kind of be my first. I have to actually give a whole board report too, so I get to be on your side. If you want volunteers, you have 4.
Yeah, we do have 4 new volunteers, gonna be starting the academy,
October 14th.
yeah, October 14th, that Chief Mason's put on, so pretty excited about that. And I think there's gonna be some people from Newport too, don't they?
I haven't gotten
Confirmation,
confirmation, but there's been communication to me about a couple from Newport, a couple possibly from Siletz, Toledo area. There was gonna be one out of Dallas, but it sounds like she's gonna focus on EMS alone for now, so. So we're still looking right around 8 to 10 right now, unofficially,
That's good.
so. I'm betting we're probably gonna land around 10, hopefully, because that at least would be a decent enough people that do training and stuff with, so. But at the end of the day, we have 4 for sure, so.
Yeah, this is true.
And ours.
And union report?
Yeah, the only thing, that I have right now is, I'd like to open negotiations with the board, per Article 18 of our contract. We can go ahead, and set up dates now, or we can set up dates later, but I'd like to get that going.
Okay.
Have official
I mean,
paper for
we'll-
you guys at the end.
Yeah, we'll have to
Figure out who's gonna be on the,
select a few people to be representing this side for negotiations and then, yeah, we can definitely set up some,
Because we technically don't need to start till January, but I want to give you guys the courtesy and the time to come up with the people, and we can sit down, and we're not rushed with this, so.
okay. So how about we do, everybody can think about how much they want to participate and we will formulate at our next meeting.
Sounds good?
Okay, good.
Yeah, the only other thing we kind of have is the health and wellness program that will be brought up in new business, so if you guys have any questions on it.
Okay. All right, finance report.
Yeah. At the end of August, district had on hand $145,174 in reserves and unrestricted funds. We've pulled 200,000 through the end of August, 200,000 from the credit line, and another 100,000 this month, so I think you'll be fine, unless you're gonna ramp up the spending, it shouldn't be a problem. Not a whole lot else going on, there's a lot of repairs, Eric's been really busy, so there's, I don't know if you could say it's more than usual, but there's quite a bit of activity there. So anyway, so it looks fine. The checks, I've got a few more to do that I'll get after the meeting. They aren't big deals, but, well, one is kind of, it's not due for a while.
Okay.
So, get a motion to pay the bills and accept the,
Yeah. I move to accept the financial report and approve paying the bills.
I second it.
it's been moved and seconded to pay the bills and approve the financial report. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? None? Passed. All right, old business.
Well, we've been talking about, now that, after kind of reviewing what some of the other fire districts are doing and so on, that, it's time for us to look at bringing our financial services in-house. And, Brett's been very faithful to us for a long time. But we have the, we have the software, we have the staff capability, and, we'll be setting it up so that, at least for the first year, we'll get quarterly checks to make sure that we're dotting all our i's and crossing all our t's and so on, and, along with the audit. And, so we're moving in a new direction. And so I guess, does this need a motion to
Yeah, a motion to bring,
bring the financial services
Yeah,
in-house?
bring-
Okay, well, I'll make the motion to bring the financial services in-house
and we want a start date
of October 31st.
or 1 November.
1st of November.
Okay. And I think that satisfies the current,
Yeah, it
Contract.
satisfies the current
Okay.
contract. It's definitely more than
It was
30
never
days.
signed.
I
The,
think it was.
the addresses were never updated. I never
Oh,
got a signed copy.
okay,
I
well,
never signed it, so you're under no obligation.
yeah, but that's fine.
I wouldn't hold you to it anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we might want to hold us to it, just to give us
Perhaps.
that cushion of time,
Sure.
yeah, so,
and yes, I want to just personally thank you for
yes.
when me coming on, first on, and having many questions on various colors of money and how things get moved around, et cetera, you've always have taken the time to give a good, full explanation of what's going on, and when I've asked you for extra reports, it's been forthcoming, so I appreciate everything you've done for
Good.
me personally,
Appreciate it.
and, so, we have a,
Well, hang on, mine is, thank you for all that you did while I was a volunteer, and, with our association and everything, you were involved with us for the many years that you and I got to work together. I appreciate all the services that you gave us.
Thank you, Rick. I've enjoyed working with you.
Thank you. Yeah, I would.
So I've made a motion.
I second it.
okay, so it's been moved and seconded to bring all of our financial business in-house as of November 1st. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Brett, for all you do.
You're welcome.
And I guess just to follow on for that, so that's gonna be, so between now and then, I would, because technically you work for the board, but I would like to hand off the daily, anything related to the transitioning, making sure that all the passwords and all of the minutia behind the scenes stuff is all transitioned properly, to work with Chief, and then I
Oh,
would
yeah.
imagine Chief's gonna have you work with,
I'll make sure
Wendy.
it's all done properly.
awesome.
Wendy's got the passwords too, so, or at least one, the
And-
main one, quickly.
No, you gave that to Rita and Chief.
You both
I
have
believe.
it. If nobody.
Hopefully you got it
We'll make
somewhere.
sure we have
I
it.
will know what it is if nobody got in there,
Yeah.
changed it, which is what you should,
Yeah,
you really should do.
I don't have it.
The
so that's
primary,
good.
Yeah.
because you don't want to be held hostage. ever.
right,
I
yeah,
don't need it.
yeah,
So it's in the district's benefit to
yeah.
take control of that. Yeah, very good.
Okay.
Perfect.
The only other thing in old business is Judy and myself, we attended the SDAO training in Eugene on Tuesday. The good news is that it was a nice one day of summertime temperatures. The bad news is that you gotta get up zero dark early to get there in time. A lot of good, I did this training when I first became a board member 3 some odd years ago. It's interesting how some things have changed. And there's probably gonna be more changes because I know some things came through the legislative session this last year. The lawyer that gives the training she's really on top of her game, and she keeps it light and comical, and it's one of the things that she was talking about was how many of her clients, which are essentially all fire districts, are all facing some of the, literally some of the same, issues that we are having with, just people not being happy with how things are going and just wanting to, just bang, 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 and having to, it's, the way the laws are written, it's just really hard to, as an entity, to be able to push back on it. So it was kind of like, didn't make me feel much better, but other than the fact it's like, it's kind of comforting to know that we're not alone, we feel kind of isolated and being, oh my God. So that was good. Judy, was there anything else?
Excellent training.
Yeah.
It was very, very enlightening.
Was that Lori? Was that Lori that did it?
Yeah, she's been around it
She's good.
Yeah.
forever.
She does a lot of our workshops and conferences through OFSOA too.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, she said she's not an SDAO employee. She contracts with them to do this, specifically to do this. So, anyway, that's all I had on
It's
that.
worth getting up at 5 in the morning. Very much so.
Yeah, so. Anything else under old business? All right, new business, health and wellness program.
So, we've drafted up a health and wellness program that we think will benefit the district. And there are some incentives for trying to keep everybody in what I would call fit to fight shape for entry firefighters. So you've been provided the draft, and then basically there'll have to be some policy behind it because of the incentives. So it's gonna be a little bit of a process, but the goal is to have it up and running within the next 6 months, so that next budget, it's in the budget and part of the process, so.
Okay.
If you have questions, Cody did a lot of work on it. We'll research from other organizations. So if there's any questions about it, if you haven't read it yet, or if you have read it and you do have questions.
It's
we're
great,
available.
Chief. I read it. It's very well written.
Yeah.
I like your
It
format.
is.
I can't really take a lot of credit for that, like the chief said. I mean, there's a lot of this that came from other organizations, but, basically realizing the need, and feeling that it's our responsibility because the toll this job can take on our bodies, let's put a step in the right direction, and the union's all behind it. And it's also includes the volunteers. So, hopefully as an organization as a whole, we can start moving in a direction.
So I do have one question. So we were down at Yahatz's board meeting last week or the week before, and they were having a conversation about their version of this program. They called it something different. So I was just wondering, concerning that we are now both. Oh, that was the other thing I didn't mention under old business is that their board has selected 2 people to be their committee with our committee to start the conversations regarding consolidation. So that is a very good thing. But then this feathers into this program. They have a program down there, and I was just wondering if it behooves us, while we could still have our own each program at this point in time, because we're separate districts, is to see how closely they can be aligned. And then, and I'm sure when you guys do a training, they get invited and vice versa and all of that. So it's sort of there's a reciprocal and commonality between them.
Yeah.
I like to, I'm gonna come out and join. You guys are gonna have to give me stuff to wear. But
I mean, we did a think tank and how to make this fit for us. I don't think that we would have a whole lot of pushback from Yachats joining a program like this. They're fairly similar. It's essentially something to be built upon, but this is hopefully laying the foundation that, hopefully this policy, as we grow and as people get more involved in it, we can start making it better. But this is just the groundwork. And so, having all of us behind something for our health and wellness and trying to get people more active doing physical agility tests, is really where this came to, is, we need to get a good foundation going, have a program in place, and then if the consolidation, does come to fruition, then we can obviously, address that, but we know South County also, stuff takes time, so our health shouldn't take time. We want to get something like this moving, and then we can go from there.
All right, thank you. Good to see it. Any other new business? Chief's report?
So let's go through our grants. So we are still awaiting FEMA AFG, whether or not we're gonna be awarded for the 2 grants that we submitted. Traditionally, that would be sometime in September. One year it took all the way till the following February. So when I hear from them, I hear from them, but hopefully it'll be soon. Congresswoman Hoyle added us to the list again this year. I resubmitted, for the same thing we did last year, and so she added us to the list, so we are on there. But that's gonna be a ways out still. I don't think any of that comes through till next June, so that's still a bit out. We did receive a $5,000 grant from Ford Family to support the fire academy, so that check will be coming in, October 15th. So we're gonna be, making a few purchases because the academy does start on the 14th, and we have to get the stuff here prior to the 14th.
Right.
But then that check will come in on the 15th and backfill all of those costs, so. And a lot of those costs are just the stuff for the students, keeping the costs off of the agencies for student uniforms during the academy, textbooks, student manuals. It's covering even the food for the students when we have Saturday evolutions, so they don't have to worry about going out and finding food or bringing food with them on those Saturdays. So really want to thank the Ford family for supporting that, so that our students can be taken care of. And I'm hoping that other agencies in the county throw some people at us so that we can use that money for them too. So I did go to the training meeting for the county last week and asked them to sponsor the academy, and they said yes, that they want to sponsor the academy, which opened up the opportunity for us to use the academy clothing that we used to have when we were doing countywide academies a few years back, when I was doing them at North Lincoln, and then I did one when I got here, 1 or 2 when I got here, I think. So we had a lot of clothing still from those academies that we never issued out because we had a surplus of it. So we're able to keep using that clothing and then add to it with the sizes we don't have. So we don't have to go out and buy a whole bunch of new stuff, and then the whole county is represented in that clothing. So surplus of the tires at Tidewater were sold and picked up, so they're gone, they're out of the way. We're still trying to get that canopy. Canopies are hard, canopies are for certain types of trucks, so you have to find somebody that has a certain type of truck that wants to buy it. So we're still trying. We already talked a lot about Academy, so I'll skip over that. And then, and Eric talked about the building and doing the doors project. So other than that, we do need to do some policy updates. So we need to start slowly figuring out a process of how we want to go about that. And that, when I see we, you, but, we, on the operations side of things, also need to do SOG updates. We haven't done SOG updates since I first got here, and so we need to look at those also. So it's a good time when we get out of summer and things kind of start to slow down a little bit, to try to start wrapping up some of those projects, or build those projects and then wrap them up. And then, questions for me? Or is everything's going good?
Okay. No, I think, I have a question for Eric at the request of Sir.
Okay.
No pressure, but they're interested in rough order of magnitude of when they can expect to get the trailer back so it doesn't leak, so that they can actually refill it.
So I tell all the crews that it'll be 3 months. It'll be 3 months.
3 months?
I'm joking. It'll probably be a lot quicker than that. I did, gonna change some of the lighting on it, because it's one fender light's just kinda hanging there. I'm gonna take the dryer vent off the top of it, and the roof rack off the top of it, and then I've got puck vents, so you don't have to actually open them and let air out, but we'll let water in.
Okay.
And then, yes, I'm gonna reseal the top, so. I honestly can't give a timeline. Like I said, it'll be before I start the door projects. That's one of the other projects I was telling you about.
Okay.
Because it won't take me that long, but I have some stuff to do on the engine, the first out engine I wanna get done.
Right, and it totally,
Yeah.
fire stuff comes before.
I'm finishing up the brush truck right now, the small brush truck, so.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad to hear that all the garbage on the top of the roof is coming off.
Yes.
The only other thing that I noticed with that trailer 6 months ago, when I went to go get something, actually get a pop-up for these guys, is the door seal seems to be
I haven't looked at that
boogered
yet,
up on
but
the
yeah.
top. I don't know if it's the way, I don't know if the door has been pushed out of alignment, or if the seal is just completely shot. But it seemed to me that there was water coming through that seal and getting into the inside, but that was my only observation of it.
Yeah, I haven't honestly looked at the door seal. Thanks for pointing that out, because I looked at everything else but the door seal, and that kinda makes sense.
So, okay, thanks, sir. All right, I do not believe we need an executive session.
No.
So, good of the order.
Oh, the hydrants, I'm figuring out what's going on. I'll get some more definitive answers on this one behind the station. I think what it is this particular hydrant, when it's used, it lowers the pressure on a couple of these houses or something, so, but I just I wanna make sure there's nothing wrong with it on that one.
The hydrants need to meet code.
Right.
And I can't take a hydrant and only use it in an emergency. If you tell me I can only use it in an emergency, and I can't use it every day.
Right.
Then that tells me it's not reliable.
Right.
So I definitely don't want to use it in an emergency if it's not reliable enough to be used every day.
So I'll find out a definitive answer on that, and then I did put the request in for the one up on Crestline too, that needs to be, addressed.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Just so you're aware, Greg, this is the crew that was using it,
Okay,
and they said that it was actually, to the point where it popped the pressure release valve in the water heater downstairs, it started water hammering all by itself. So
okay,
if you want to pass that on to Mike.
Okay.
it's-
Yep.
They could actually feel it in the ground.
So when we opened it up, it took forever to flush, but you could feel it, we were probably like 10 feet away, we could feel it in the ground, so we shut it off.
so that might be one of our oldest, I'll find out, but I did bring it up, and I'll meet with them, probably when I get back, this next week, and I'll figure out what's going on with
Yeah,
that, but,
it's an old enough hydrant that it's only a double 2.5 quart.
and it could, I don't know what the water lines underneath it, it could be one of our old ones from way back in the day where the lines just, you know,
Yeah.
which would be
It's
another
like
issue.
stamped 1867.
Yeah, really.
We noticed that when there was that leak down by, the gazebo,
Uh-huh.
and they fixed that, or something, all of a sudden, we have more water pressure in Old Town than we've ever
Big time.
had.
Really?
Like,
the
I
point.
can't turn my shower fully on because it hurts.
We have crews, I believe it's one where they go, they do leak testing, which is something we just, and it's amazing that the leaks they find that we never even knew were out there, but they have the specialized equipment that, so I guess I think we're doing that every year now, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining about the water pressure,
Nope.
we're off of Main, so we've always had good
Right.
pressure, but it's like, I turn my shower half on. So, because when you switch to the handheld one, it hurts if you don't, if you have it too far on.
But I'll find out about that. And then, one other thing, because I sit on another board, city council, Todd Holt came in, to city council meeting and asked that, you know, the city foreclose on the fire department, which is very disheartening that someone, a citizen would request that the fire department be foreclosed on, emergency services. So just wanted to pass that along. It was very disheartening to hear that, but.
Well, and you're fueled by vengeance, and you no longer, care which platform you decide you want to stand on. You just want to stand on whichever one it can be used negatively against the fire district. I mean, when he was here as a board member, his platform was, do not pay the city $1 because taxes in the 1980s paid for the station. So we shouldn't have to pay for it again. But now that it's being used as a negative narrative,
Right.
he's trying to go in there and say, oh, they're not paying you. That's wrong. You need to foreclose on them. I think the public needs to understand that if that ridiculous idea, just ignorant idea, had ever come to fruition, that would mean we would have to move our equipment to Tidewater, and everybody in the city limits of Walport would get a delayed response
Right.
from this, responders to coming to this area. And I don't care what he thinks, it's not gonna make another agency automatically come in here and take over. And it's not gonna benefit the community to do that. The fire district and the city communicate
Yep.
regularly on what's going on. We know what's happening with the money at the legislative level. We know what we can expect, and we know what we're all gonna get at the end of the day. And we're working together for the betterment of the community.
I think
And he
you
needs
just
to
have someone
stop
coming in
his
that's
vendetta.
just trying to cause problems.
He
so.
needs to stop his vendetta. He was kicked off the board. It is what it is.
Yep.
The public voted. He got recalled. He needs to just let it go and move on with his life.
Well, I don't think you have nothing to worry about for the city side, at least. But I just want to make you aware of it. I thought it was a crazy request, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's, for me, if the guy wants to choose a platform, fine. Stop being a hypocrite, choose a platform, stand on the platform.
That's all I got.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't speak for the whole board, but I can speak for myself as a member of this board. And that is, from the moment I've been on here, is that I strongly believe that it is in the best interest of the city and the district to have a solid, open relationship, because the community benefits the greatest from that collaboration. And I don't see any reason in changing it, but that doesn't mean that we're always going to agree on things. But at the end of the day, like, everything that you guys are, dealing with, we are our own.
And I think the relationship is pretty decent between the city and the fire department, so.
And we are our own separate autonomous
Yep.
organization, and, so and we will continue to work with the city, where it makes sense to work with the city.
At the end of the day, both entities work for the benefit of the community, to
Exactly.
protect and make sure the community is safe. That's why this isn't a back and forth about financials, it's not a back and forth about anything. It's what are we doing to try to meet each other's goals while at the same time providing the best benefit for the community.
That's right.
So,
And that
I also
kind of goes
find it
back to the
funny
fire
he's not-
hydrants. I mean, it's about working together. It's making sure that we have the equipment necessary, you know, or the water flow necessary to, you know, adequately protect the community. So, yeah.
It's also interesting, he'll go to the council meeting to yell at you guys at the council meeting, and then here's an opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he at?
The one thing that I do want to say, because I happen to be the other guy that's on the council, if there's an issue in the fire department that you have an issue about the city, he's the one you talk to. Don't send Greg and I a note.
Yeah.
You don't, but don't. And I've already told the city the same thing. They talk to Dan, they talk to each other. We can't be the conduit between it. So if you have an issue that you're not liking something, make sure chief knows, the chief can talk to the city manager. That's his job, that's what they both get paid for, and that's the only people we can talk to anyway. So,
Yeah, that's an operation.
and if you have a public service person or a public works person come on your scene, and you don't like what's going on, chief needs to talk to Dan. It's not anything that we can be involved with. It's the tough part about being a councilman and a board member at the same time. So, you know, you can tell me, and all I'm gonna do is tell Dan, or I'm gonna tell chief.
Yep.
As I did the other day, please talk to each other.
All right. Anything else? Okay.
Anything?
Not as short as Rita's meetings, but
Getting close.
adjourn
You're
at
learning.
4:36.
You're learning.
John, why wasn't that information in that business on no
There you
business?
go. Yep.
What you guys brought up for old business? I need to